What's the difference between a condo and a townhome? They're both attached. Did you know there's actually a huge difference in how they're financed? Let's talk through that. The reason they're financed differently is because they're owned differently. The way you take the deed and physically what you own is different. So a townhome, it's a one unit and you actually own some land and you can park typically right in front of it. That's what a lot of people think of as a townhome. There's a big row of them. This is common in the suburbs. People know visually what a townhome is. So the townhome is very much like a single family home. You actually own some land, and the only shared elements are typically the outside, the roof, the siding, and landscaping. They are financed very much like single family homes, meaning that your lender only cares about that particular unit. Contrast that to condos, where now you're picturing multiple units stacked on top of each other. The land is common and owned by everyone. You're part of a big HOA, and what you're responsible for is less. So you own the paint on the walls, but not the wall, because the wall is a common element shared likely between you and your neighbor. And because of that, your lender finances it differently. Because if you think about it, your property is the collateral for the loan. So if you don't pay the loan back, they're going to sell it. And they need to know that property is well maintained and taken care of. They care about the entire building. There's a questionnaire when you're buying a condo that they send to the HOA. Does one person own more than a certain percentage? Are more than a certain percentage rented units? If it's mixed use, what's the ratio of commercial property to residential property? So lending can be very complicated in condo buildings because there's more than just your unit that they look at. They look at the whole thing. So long story short, what that means to you is if you're a young person and you're buying a condo and you're thinking, oh, I'll just rent it. If I get married, if I get a wonderful job in Italy, I'll just rent this. No, condos, the HOA strictly limits who can rent. So if you get that fancy job in Italy and you think, oh, I don't want to sell because it's a down market and I might come back, you can't rent it if it's maxed out. So condos, you're beholden to what's happening in the whole building, versus a townhome, you can do whatever you want. Each townhome community is going to have its specific rules on renting. They might not allow short-term rentals, for example, but there's no extra layer of financing that prohibits your ability to rent. It's really just what the community as a whole has agreed to. I hope that makes sense. And beware that many things that look like townhomes these days, especially in urban areas, are deeded as condos, even though they're not stacked. And you're like, wait, this has everything that looks like a townhome. For whatever reason, they are deeded as condos. And so you need to tell your lender that it's a condo because that matters. Thanks.